Let's start with your name. Where'd your name come from?
Vic, man, actually, you know, back in the day, I used to do a lot of battle rapping, and I was at this spot, and I got at this cat, and somebody in the crowd was like, man, home vicious. And from that day forward, like, I was like, it just kind of stuck. My people started calling me Vicious after that. And, you know, I was running around the streets as Vicious a while ago with a single that I had. And this time when I decided to come back and record and do some music, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drop the IOUS and just go by Vic, because everybody called me Vic anyway.
Now, where are you from?
Atlanta.
What's your opinion of the state of rap music right now in Atlanta?
Honestly, I think we got kind of a copycat market. What's happening is, you know, a lot of cats are going in and making records just like somebody else's as opposed to doing their own thing. But, you know, I mean, I think Atlanta's winning definitely, but I think we got more of a copycat market right now, to be honest with you.
Now, give me a tour of the city of Atlanta for someone that's never been there before. Let's start with the food. Favorite food spot in the city?
Favorite food spot in the city for me would probably be Papa Do's and Atlanta Fish Market. But last time I was at Atlanta Fish Market, they shorted me on the crab legs, man. I do the king crabs heavy. So Papa Do's, man, because you get better portions, definitely.
Now, what do you order from each?
From each? King crab, definitely, all day.
Now, what about the nightlife? Favorite strip club in the city?
Favorite strip club? Ooh. DOA is one of them, but Pinups, man. Pinups is a spot, it's a landmark, you know what I'm saying?
Now, there's a lot of strip clubs in Atlanta. Why those two?
Well, Pinups is home of the $5 table dance, man. So you got to get over there and get your $5 table dance. But DOA, I would say, got the women, man, definitely.
Now, what about regular nightclubs? Favorite regular nightclub in the city?
Regular clubs, Compound. Compound's a hot spot, man. It's a new spot that I be rocking with too, man. My partner DJ Smallz be DJing over there called Capture. They be pretty lit too.
Now, what about, okay, we talked about the food, we talked about the nightlife.
Okay.
Any other spots you recommend someone first time visiting Atlanta see, do, or visit while they're in town?
You know what, man? I would say just come downtown, man, and get a part of the city life. You know what I'm saying? It's a real good feel, a lot of good spots, a lot of traffic, a lot of women. You know, the city life, man, I'm a city boy, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in Capitol Homes, you know what I mean? So I used to walk downtown when I was a young kid, man, but I would have to say just come to the city and just move around, you know what I'm saying?
Now, what about the lingo? What are some terms or some phrases one might hear right about now in the city of ATL?
Right now, lit is pretty popular, but, you know, we've been saying shouty for like as long as I can remember, man. Like people, it didn't really catch on until T.I. came out. But yeah, shouty, girl. I don't know, man.
Now, what do some of these phrases mean?
What do they mean?
Mm-hmm.
Shouty can be used in a lot of different ways, man. I mean, shouty can be a chick. It can be your homeboys. It could be, you know, it's a lot of different ways it can be used. You know what I mean?
And then lit?
Lit just means it's crunk, or they saying, the youngsters saying pipe it up now. Just another way of saying something is a hot spot or is good.
Now, what about special events? Are there any special events you recommend someone come to Atlanta specifically for? Like for example, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
That's
like
cool.
In New Orleans, Mardi Gras is like a week-long event.
Okay.
Situation. Anything in ATL you specifically recommend someone come visit for?
Right now,
If
I
any.
mean, we popping when we get the ACC tournaments over at the Dome and that kind of stuff, but honestly, I can't really think of any festivals or anything. If this was the 90s, man, I'd be like Freaknik all day, because Memorial Drive used to be lit. Like the youngsters be saying, Memorial Drive be crazy, man. And see, I'm from Capitol Home, so it used to go right through the Cap. So we see chicks, man, it used to be crazy, man. Crazy. Super good look.
How crazy? What's the craziest thing you ever seen during Freaknik?
Man, you see chicks hanging out of convertibles with titties showing. Shit, crazy thing I was seen during Freaknik, man. I've seen chicks having sex with dudes in the car, sucking dudes off, like just crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. If you into that kind of thing, man, that's Freaknik is where it's at, or was where it's at.
You think it'll ever come back?
I hope so. I hope so, but no, I don't think so.
All right, let's take it back a little bit. Mm-hmm. What type of student were you in school?
In school, I was. That's an interesting question for me because I was a CD student, like at first, and then I started being an AB student after this teacher came to me and enlightened me on some things. He told me that I'm very intelligent and that if I shut my mouth, my grades would go up. So I took him up on his offer, and after that, I was a pretty good student actually.
Graduated high school?
I did.
College?
A little bit.
Dropped out?
Dropped out, yeah.
Why?
To pursue music, actually. My mind wasn't in it. I didn't want to be there, so I figured why waste time being somewhere I didn't want to be.
What year did you drop out? When I say year, I mean like freshman, sophomore, junior.
Freshman.
Oh, so you barely started.
Right.
Maybe got a semester in?
I got a couple of semesters in, actually.
Okay.
So.
Now, I mean, it's when it comes to school, there's obviously different opinions about it.
Right.
Because some people graduate college and they end up not even doing what they went to school for.
Exactly.
And then you got people that started college and dropped out, like Kanye West or Bill Gates, and are doing really good for themselves.
Absolutely.
And then some people, you know, really don't think college is important and maybe delve into something else instead of college. What's your advice to someone thinking about enrolling in college?
I mean, if it's for you, by all means, go for it. But I think passion is kind of what drives people. And the thing of it is, whether you go to college or whether you graduate high school or whatever you decide to do, I think it's about the amount of passion and ambition that you have for just being successful. You know what I mean? Because, like I just said, I didn't finish college, but I'm doing extremely well. You know what I mean? I'm very happy with where I stand in life and the decisions that I made. I don't regret any of them.
That was going to be my next question, if you regretted that decision.
Right.
Jobs you had growing up, if any?
In the city, man, I'm from Capitol Homes. Anybody that's from Atlanta that knows people from Capitol Homes is in Zone 3. Anybody that knows people from Capitol Homes knows that we scout tickets. We hustle, you know what I'm saying? So coming up, man, I spent a lot of my time at the Braves Stadium, Fulton County Stadium before they tore it down, Turner Field, and I hustled tickets, man. That's what I did. I was 14 years old passing out business cards. Had people calling me for World Series tickets and stuff like that. So that's why I say the ambition is what's important, man. If you're a hustler, then you're a hustler. You're going to find a way to make it out of whatever you got going on. Any
crazy stories dealing with that hustle?
No crazy stories, man, but I will say, you know, I just shot a video for this song I got called Bout That Life, and it actually kind of displays some of that stuff. It shows how I came up I need ticket signs, hustling my way up on tickets, selling the tickets for more than what I paid for them. You know, just having a drive. I was like 11, 12 years old, man, walking in Walton's buying 2-3 pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? I had my own money, didn't have to. And my mom always tell me I made it easier on her because I started taking care of myself at a young age. So it's all about ambition and drive, man.
Now, what's the worst thing you put your parents through?
Worst thing I put my parents through? I would have to say with my mom, you know, my thing was I made it all the way through high school before I actually got locked up. And when I got locked up 2 times the same week. I would say that's probably the worst thing. And then it was a bad feeling because my mom actually told me if you get locked up again, like I'm not gonna come get you. And then like 3 days later, I'm locked up again. You know what I mean?
What's your message to the youth?
Message to the youth: stay focused, be diligent in what you got going on. You know what you want and go for what you want. I mean, that would be my main thing. Go for what you want. Don't worry about what anybody else says. You know, go with your heart. Go with where you feel like you need to be.
Let's talk music a little bit.
Okay.
What do you hate the most about the music industry at this point? What bothers you the most about it?
What I hate most, I would have to say, what do I hate most? I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, man, you got a lot of DJs that rock with people based on status as opposed to talent. So if I had to pick a thing that I hated most, I would say the dick riding that some of the DJs do based on a person's status as opposed to keeping it based on the music. Because if you go to a job interview, they basing it on qualifications. They don't give a shit if you got $100,000 in the bank or if you got this or you got, they don't care. They don't give a shit. All they basing it on is how talented you are, or I'm sorry, how well your qualifications meet the position that they're trying to fill. And I feel like in the game, you know, it's so diluted, so you don't get a real synopsis of what the hottest music that's out there is, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Do you see this changing anytime soon?
I don't think it'll ever change, honestly.
When do you think it got to this point, if you could pinpoint it? Like, when did it get to the dick riding stage?
The dick riding stage, I would say sometime around the late 90s, maybe early 2000s.
So this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, because it used to be, honestly, like I've been doing this since like 94. I was in a group, you know what I'm saying? And we used to, like back when people were MCing for real, we used to have cyphers, like at every show I used to go to. I remember a show we did at the Fox. We in the bathroom, everybody spitting and freestyling, battling, going back and forth. You don't even see that no more. It's a lost art. But to answer your question, shit, what was your question? I'm sorry, bro.
At what point did it get to the dick riding stage?
What point did it get to the dick riding stage? Yeah, I would say around the late 90s, but late 90s to early 2000s. But I know, like when you used to approach DJs would spin your record because they liked your record. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, you know, you still got some DJs that do that. You know what I'm saying? You still got some DJs that do that, but you got a lot of DJs who, you know, won't even really fuck with you unless you got a certain status or, you know, you already have reached a certain level of success and that sort of thing. So I would say that's probably the thing that I hate the most, man, the dick riding based on the status.
In 2016, what percentage would you put DJs still will spin based on talent versus dick riding? Because you said there are some that still do it.
Yeah, there are some that still do it.
So what percentage would you say?
I would say
out of 100%.
Probably about 75%.
Are dick riding or
no,
not?
No. Or spinning records based on talent.
So 35% maybe just dick riding.
Right.
Top 3 things you need in a studio.
Top 3 things I need in the studio. Man, give me my pad. My pad. And a track, really, man. The third thing, just let me do what I do. Give me a pad and a beat, and I'm good. Craziest
studio story, if you have one.
Craziest studio story. Nah, I ain't really got no crazy studio story, because when I'm working, man, I'm one of those who, when I'm working, I'm focused on what I'm doing. And I don't really like too many people being in there and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times it'll be me and the engineer and maybe a couple of partners. You know what I'm saying?
What's the realest song you ever wrote?
Realest
so
song,
far in your whole catalog of music?
Realest song I ever wrote. I got a record called, from back in the day, called, Doing My Thing. It was on my LP called The Chronicles that I released in like 99. It's on iTunes and all that, but song I got called Doing My Thing, I mean, it was pretty much about my life and how I came up and, you know, growing up in a single parent home but still having to make things happen, and you know, me basically being the man and not really having a father present and that sort of thing made me grow up a lot faster. And Bout That Life actually kind of touch on the same thing, but not as much as Doing My Thing. Bout That Life is on the LP that I'm about to release in August called Independently Major.
Risk versus reward. What's the biggest risk you took for your music career so far?
Biggest risk I've taken for my music career. I mean, to be honest with you, man, you know, every day there's a risk with spending money. Not sure if you're gonna get a return on that investment. You know, I've paid money for different things. Some of it I've gotten, some of it I haven't gotten. But you know, that's a part of the game, you know what I'm saying? And it's something I just pretty much take in stride, man.
What are your keys to success?
Keys to success, I said this earlier, but I think just being ambitious, being diligent in what you want, being consistent, and keep kicking the door into that motherfucker fall, man, pretty much.
So what you got going on right now?
Right now, we're gearing up for this release of Independently Major, which is my 8th studio project, actually. It's gonna be released on iTunes and all the digital media and stuff, first week of August. We're working on a Bout That Life DVD. It's a documentary that's gonna kind of go into some of the stuff I experienced growing up. And it's a spinoff from the song Bout That Life, which we just shot the video for a couple of weeks ago. And for packs, we got those coming soon. You know, I'm thinking about a clothing line, but I gotta get things in order for that. That'll be down the line. But currently, the Bout That Life DVD and mixtape will come out in the 4th quarter of the year. But right now, we get ready for Independently Major. I'm in Making It Magazine, June edition that's about to come out. I got a full-page spread in there. I mean, we just working, man. We got a lot of material coming up, but I'm at Vic Spits, VICSPITS, on pretty much all social media. If you Google it, all kinds of shit will come up. So I ain't hard to find, man.